This film is playing in only 50 theaters in all of the United States. Lucky for me, one of those theaters is in my backyard. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another review, and today we are talking about Juror number 2. What many people are claiming is the final film from Clint Eastwood, and I really enjoyed it. Like I already said, there's been a big scandal around this movie where Warner Brothers is basically burying it, only releasing it in 50 theaters in the United States. It just so happened when I checked, one of those theaters was literally my home theater here in Dallas, Texas. So I did get to see it, and I'm going to review it for you all today. Before we get into my review, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like anything you see today in today's video. A lot of people came from that Conclave review. If you are here from that review, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. And if you've not already, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs at the end of the year. We're about 225 away. I do think it's manageable. If you like anything you see today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the review. While serving as a juror in a high-profile murder trial, family man Justin Kemp finds himself struggling with a serious moral dilemma, and one that he could use to sway the jury verdict and potentially convict or free the accused killer. Now, I was instantly sold when I saw the trailer for this. Cast looked great. Of course, Clint Eastwood back behind the camera, and the premise looked absolutely thrilling. I'm going to give a spoiler warning here, although I think a lot of what I'm going to talk about was already spoiled in the trailers. You kind of already know what's happening, but I will just give a kind of a blanketed spoiler warning, even though I don't really know when this film's going to be wide release. So watch at your own guilt. Watch at your own, discretion, I might say. My quick blurb about this is, it is a very competently made film from Clint Eastwood. You can't even tell that he's in his 90s behind the camera. Like, it is a very competently made, well thought out, well structured, well crafted movie. And, some of his past few have been duds, they've been misses, but he comes back, and again, in what could be, not been confirmed, but a lot of people are saying what could be his final film, I think he finishes on a very high note. This film is an anxiety-driven, action-packed, not in the way that you think I'm saying, but morally action-packed tug of war. I really enjoy the writing of this movie, and I think that the performances enhance it even more. So I'm going to break it down piece by piece how I rated it. I did rate it an 82 out of 100. That's a good score. That is a middle-of-the-road score. And like I said, it is a very competently done film. It is not a bad film whatsoever. First things first, these performances. I gave performances 13 out of 15 on my rating scale. You've got Nicholas Hoult. You've got Toni Collette. Those are the two that are leading this film. You have Nicholas Hoult as our main character, juror number 2. You have Toni Collette as the prosecuting lawyer in this case. Nicholas Hoult, first off, round of applause, is absolutely fantastic here. He brings such a level of emotion. He brings perfect anxiety to this, and watching him deal with this mental dilemma and the tug of war that he's going through, and how he is trying to, at times, justify his innocence, even though we know right off the bat that he is actually the one that more likely than not, killed the lady at the beginning of the movie. We are watching him come to that realization at the beginning and then have to run with that moral dilemma of, do I say something? Do I not? Do I convict? Do I let go free? Like, these mind games that he's playing just with himself are absolutely thrilling. And you can tell that he's not trying to show his hand to any of the other jury, while also going again through this moral dilemma of, I think obviously this guy should be free because he didn't do anything. How do I sway everyone else? The comparison I like to make is, this is a film that is arguing what looks good on paper or what is morally right. That is what this film is grappling with. The person up on trial has had a crime-filled past, has been in what people are calling, a bad relationship, has not the best standards. He's a repeat offender in terms of criminal activity. It makes sense. he should be the one that's thrown in jail. And without even considering anyone else, this is what looks right on paper. Whereas you have the family man who, yes, it was an accident and he didn't know, but it still happened. Morally, well, he should probably fess up to it, even though the consequences are pretty severe. Because are you going to have an innocent man do life in prison, or what are we doing here? So that's the moral dilemma that is going on throughout this entire movie. And we're watching Nicholas Hoult grapple with it. At first, he wants to help this guy get free. He wants to do whatever he needs to do. But then there is a shift at the end of the movie where he's like, you know what? I got to do whatever I can to protect my family. I really enjoyed that. And that was a long-winded way to say that you can feel that in him. That's not just the writing or the situational emotion. Like his performance brings that out of us. We are on the edge of our seats. I was gripping onto the armrest because I was in certain situations, I was so tense that, oh, what's going to happen next? It's a courtroom drama that is more thrilling than most movies I've watched this year. There's also a lot of admiration and respect for 12 Angry Men in this. You can tell that Clint had a lot of inspiration for this movie by 12 Angry Men. One of my favorite movies of all time. You can tell he really enjoys that movie as well, because this is a homage to that movie and it was done incredibly well. Delicately, not taking it and making it a complete copy of 12 Angry Men, adding more elements to it that you might not have already known, but this was obviously a well-executed courtroom drama that, definitely did take inspiration from 12 Angry Men, like I said. Toni Collette also is fantastic in this. She, at the beginning, is fine, but I think as this film starts to ramp up in the second half, she really starts to show her chops. She's fantastic. Watching her try to grapple with her own morality, where, I need to win this for the election. Oh, but there's doubt. There's doubt that this person may have actually done it. I want to win the election, but at what cost? And that we have these two main characters grappling with their own moral dilemmas. Obviously, Nicholas Hoult's is much more serious than Toni Collette's, but they're both dealing with whether or not this innocent man has life in prison. It was a very interesting kind of weaving of narratives there that I really, really enjoy. Entertainment, 8 out of 10. I was entertained throughout. Like I said, I love courtroom dramas as they are, but when you add these types of dilemmas and this type of writing and storytelling, I'm all for it. I think it was absolutely fantastic. I gave the direction 8 out of 10. Like I said, it is an incredibly competently done film by Clint Eastwood. You can't even tell that he is 90 years old. The vision was executed perfectly, and it was done incredibly well. Emotion, we already kind of talked about. It's an anxiety-filled time. It clocks, I think, an hour and 46 minutes, and from the very start, you're locked in, and as he comes to the realization of what's happening, and you come to the realization, you're like, all right, strap on your seatbelts, folks, and get ready for the ride, because this one was just absolutely fantastic. A lot of the technical on this is just fine. I gave the cinematography a 3 out of 5. Doesn't do anything to reshape the wheel. Doesn't do anything extraordinary. I also gave the score a 4 out of 5. It's good. It was subtle. It wasn't overbearing, but it didn't blow me away. I gave pacing 3 out of 5. There are times where this drags a little bit, but I think it gets the job done. And then technical aspects, which is costume design, sound design, editing, production design, all that type of stuff. 12 out of 15. Competently done, competently well. It's a bit generic, but I think it gets the job done. It's solid. It is solid. It is solid. It is solid. That's the big word of the day. I give rewatchability 4 out of 5. I've already kind of dove into the writing a little bit, but I did give it a 13 out of 15. I do think this is one of the most intriguing stories that I think I've seen this year, and I think it's executed perfectly fine. This film, like I've already said, I think the word of the day for this video is solid. It's not going to move the wheel in terms of, I think, any Oscar nominations. It's not going to move the wheel in terms of, I think, maybe even critical acclaim. Like, I'm looking at Letterboxd, I see a lot of 3.5 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. It's not the best movie you're going to watch this year, but I think it is a very intriguing moral dilemma that you are constantly on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next, because they lay out the stakes from the beginning. You know that the person that is up for trial did not do what he is being accused of doing. And you do know that one of the members of the jury, more likely than not, and it's basically said that he did do what that person is being accused of. And you have to watch that power struggle, both mentally and physically, as he is trying to physically change the vote of the jury and mentally figure out, do I really want to do this? How do I save myself while also doing the right thing? Okay, I can't save myself while also doing the right thing. So what do I do with my family? How do I save my family? Like, it is such a brilliantly constructed wheel of different circumstances, one after the other. As he learns new things, he has to adjust his thinking, and how does that adjust how he wants to vote, and this and that and the other. We're learning the story as well, and then we're also following Toni Collette, who is trying to win this election, but there's that little bit of doubt, and she is now grappling with whether or not, do I risk winning the election, or do I do the right thing? All this film is about doing the right thing. What looks good on paper, what is actually morally good. That is very profoundly well written and well executed here. And I was thoroughly intrigued watching this from start to finish and seeing where it was going to go. Like I already mentioned, this has been said by many people as Clint Eastwood's last film. I can't confirm that. I haven't seen a confirmation by his camp or by him or anyone. I think a lot of people are just assuming, because I believe he's 94 years old now, that this is probably where he's going to hang it up. And if that's the case, it's a great way to end an absolutely legendary cinematic career for Mr. Clint Eastwood. I think that the vision's there, the emotion's there. He brings the best out of his actors and makes this a very intriguing film that I think a lot of people are really going to like, especially the dads of the world. This is a great dad movie. I think a lot of dads are really going to like this movie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really... It's very sad that this movie is not getting any sort of wide release. And hell, it's really not even getting a limited release. It's in 50 theaters across the United States. And I just got lucky that one of them happened to be in my backyard. So it's a shame. It'll probably be on Max soon. So I encourage you all to watch it. It is a very well-crafted and very profoundly emotional story that is going to leave a lot of people contemplating things for a long time. And again, if this was it for Mr. Clint Eastwood, salute to you, sir, and a job well done. I think that this one was a well-made, highly competent film that I will revisit in the future, because I think it's again, very solidly well done. All right, that's it. That is my review of Juror number 2. If you happen to be in an area where one of those 50 theaters exists and you happen to watch this film, let me know in the comments. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Again, I liked it quite a bit. Thought it was a very interesting tug of war of the mind, and will leave you on the edge of your seat until the very end. Okay, so that's it. I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you do on YouTube. Like I said, my goal for subscribers is 2,000 by the end of the year. About 225 off. It's a big number, but I think if we all gather around and try, we can get there. I appreciate you all so much for watching. My social media will be linked down below in the description as well if you want to follow me on social media. And that's pretty much it, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.